guys? We just starting the space here.
Going on, guys? We just starting the space here. If you give me a moment, we're just sorting a few things out. Apparently, you can play music. I never knew that. But we're gonna be starting in a moment. Excited for this one. We got some good topics. I think it's a good time for the conversation of Ronin. So if you are just tuning in, stick around. We'll be a few minutes or so, 30 seconds, maybe not even that long. But welcome. If you check the topics out, maybe you got some questions. I do like to leave this as open mic as possible. So yeah, if you've got any good ideas, good questions, good thoughts, don't hesitate to request to be a speaker. I'll definitely let you up here and see what thoughts you might have. As ever, we are joined by the best dead drop player on the planet, by the way. This guy does not lose tournaments, but I got my boy with me, Cairo. Shout out to Cairo. How you doing today, bro?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing good, man. Yeah, it's been a crazy day. Actually, just a couple seconds ago, there were two Mystic sales that just happened that I definitely caused FOMO on. There was a Mr. Double Talk Bird Mystic that I showed Chuck, and Chuck ended up buying it. And then just a couple seconds ago, there was a Bug Mystic that was around the same price being sold from the same person, and it just got bought as well. And those are those are some pretty crazy Mystic sales, man. Like those rare classes, you rarely see them listed, especially that low. And it was cool to see them get picked up.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Mystics, we've got a Mystic giveaway at the moment, right? Happening with Axie Infinity.
Yeah, that's insane. That's actually I think it's been a long time since the last Mystic giveaway. I think it was an art project that Blomitz won. And then the only time that I can remember since I've been here is whenever they did the AOC token giveaway for the first burning event.
Yeah. I wasn't around those days, man. I'm not OG enough, but believe me, when I first came into this space, I was drooling at the screen looking at those axes. So huge staple in the community and the journey itself as well, having them out there. So owning one, it's a huge thing. But let's move on swiftly. I see a lot of you guys queuing up. Appreciate you guys spending your time and coming in through and checking us out here at Ronin Radio. Just a quick spiel on what Ronin Radio is. If this is your first time tuning in, what we aim to do is basically host a session every week on Sundays for about 30 minutes to an hour, just to update you guys and the wider community, maybe those who don't know what Ronin or the Ronin Network is. We host a session every week to keep you in the loop and update you on things that are happening. Today, I'm absolutely blessed with the presence of a person who I've looked up to in the space and has given me, a lot of positive examples to step into and a lot of guidance. And I'm sure you guys know who this is. So without further ado, Jihoz, I appreciate you for reaching out and thank you for being here. It's a pleasure, man. It's honestly an honor to have you.
What up, man? No, really excited about this initiative, dude. It's always amazing to see the community seeing an opportunity, right? Like, oh, there was no Ronin related Twitter space. Like, let's try something out. Let's experiment. Let's iterate. So, I see my role as very much amplifying and constantly looking out for these types of experiments and giving them a little bit of a boost. So yeah, I'm here. What's up? It's been a big week, and just excited to be here.
I appreciate that. It's definitely been a big week, though. The first topic, we're starting off as we mean to go on. I called it the rise of, and I think it's perfectly fitting in the language form because this is gonna be, it's a game that nobody knew about, nobody was searching for, nobody knew it was gonna, be on the Ronin Network or even be a game in existence, and I think everybody that's touched it. That has noticed that this game has a lot of potential. There is a ton of potential there. And I guess by starting this off, I kind of share the Gila perspective, my perspective of playing in the past few days. And then also maybe reaching out to some guys that might be in the audience that have had hands-on with it as well. And maybe getting some of your thoughts. But I've been lucky enough to, gain access to the game itself. Tested out the solo aspects of the game quite early, so was familiar with the controls. But the biggest thing for me was the social aspect to a Ronin game. We haven't had that before, and it's really proven to be as powerful as I expected it to be because of that social connection. I'm seeing, groups of creators behind the scenes, guys who are familiar in the Axie community, professional Axie players who are top contenders, spending some time playing this game and teaming up. We are literally seeing people form in teams of 4, and there are some top players out there that are forming good teams already. But Cairo, I see you got your hand up. You wanna jump in on anything on there?
Yeah, man, I have been actually pretty impressed with the overall reaction to the Machines Arena. I think that a lot of the stuff that you said is very true and really really important. I mean, one of the things that we've been seeing with people teaming up and actually having the opportunity to form teams is we're getting to see a lot of the creators that like we know from the Axie community form teams, and you get to see. I don't know if you want to necessarily call it storylines yet, but you get to see just kind of like the content being turned out by those people together, and it makes for an interesting viewing experience for the viewers because you get a lot of crossover between some of their favorite creators, which is nice. And then on top of that, I mean, with how much the game is already built out, which, like you said, nobody was searching for this game before it ever got announced on Ronin. Like, I actually went and looked at some of the YouTube videos, and there's only a couple YouTube videos made by people who had like really early beta tested it. But it's interesting with it coming to Ronin, how much more popular it is. I'm seeing so many creators from Web3 that weren't involved with Axie or wouldn't get involved with Axie that are happy to hop into the Machines Arena and try it out. And I think with the custom games feature, we already have like the system built out for a pretty decent esports scene with like the spectator mode working really well, and then 4v4 team-based games like that. That's just an interesting esports viewing experience in general. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Bro, the spectating, you touched on it. The spectating is actually phenomenal. I was very impressed by that. I didn't want to be a spectator. Trust me, you'll find these 4v4 lobbies sometimes get overwhelmed because there's so much demand to play some of the best players. But I was spectating, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, man. It's probably the best spectating screen I've seen in that type of game, hands-on anyway at the moment. So that's huge, for progression.
The team actually put a lot of like effort and thought into like the way that the game is viewed, which I find super fascinating, right? Because when we think about like how do you attract viewers, right? How do you grow a game? Is like, well, one way is to attract content creators, and content creators need viewers, right? So then it's like if the game and the spectator mode is like specifically made to like encourage more viewership, but it's like bam, right? It's like you have the growth engine built into the game, and you just need to kind of rev that up.
No, fact. I think it's super important. If you like, we look at Axie, and Axie's had tremendous success with like an esports side of things, just because of how rewarding it was to be an esports player. But one area that we could have said that was was tough with Axie was that watchability. And being able to bring players in and bring interest or bring spectators in was tough with the way that you're viewing the game, and having Ronin and the bigger picture and this bigger pool of games, just it gives you that strength of Arsenal to be able to do that, to bring players into the whole ecosystem, which is amazing. We had Edu Mock put his hand up, my good friend Edu. What's going on, man? You've been playing the Machines Arenas as well.
Oh, for sure. You sit down and you try to just get a few games in, and those few games turn into just 3 hours of you just playing that over and over and over again. Because you might get some bots, but it gets filled up quickly. Like the quick play is literally quick play. You get in there and you pick a team and you just go in there and do your stuff. I love the fact that this is. I was talking with the devs as well about the whole game, and we were having like a back and forth talking about it, and I came to the conclusion with them as well that this game was made for like esports side, and I wanted to touch that since you guys mentioned the replay system. Like it is made for that. It's basically made for that, and they have done it so well that as a caster point of view, it's so rewarding to just control everything around it and cast around that. Even if you don't control it, it's good to have like something that you can see from different points of view, and it makes for great content, honestly.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's really cool as well that you've had the ability to play and communicate with the devs, which I think is a huge component that is large in the Web3 space that doesn't actually get highlighted too much. If we compare the traditional gaming industry, a conversation with the devs or even having any type of influence or even effect to voice your opinion was non-existent. So that's another huge thing in the Web3 realm at large that's amazing to see as well. I don't want to spend too long on the Machines Arena because we all know it's a good game, and trust me, if you're in this space and you haven't tried it out and you have access to Epic's game launcher on a PC or laptop device, it is 100% something to do for this week for sure. So if you are still looking for codes to get access to the game, you can message me after this. We still have a bunch, and we've also got Quest and the Creators Program that's got a load of codes to hand out as well. So yeah, the one thing I want to finish on with Machines Arena, things for the future. From my perspective, and I know these things are definitely, I don't want to confirm them out of turn here, but I definitely think these are introduced. But obviously ranked play and some kind of leaderboard system to give me an incentive to, if I want to grind and I want to solo it, I don't have my friends online, give me at least a game mode where I can still play at a level that's respective to how I play the game, and it keeps me engaged in that way. Any recommendations from you guys up on the stage right
now? Well, I want to see I'm excited, obviously, for the Web3 integrations, of course, and I think right, like having them really, really thoughtfully integrated and carefully approached. Right, it's like amazing right now. It's like, okay, we know that this game is associated with Ronin, launching through Ronin. What does that mean, right? Like that's something I think that we're gonna start to learn about and figure out, almost kind of out in public, right? But the team does have a lot of really, really interesting thoughts around tokenomics and how that interplays with the game design, right? Because they also have been working on Civitas, right, which is other Web3 game, which but that's more of like a 4 or 5 year project. Hopefully, maybe by no promises, but maybe that could also be launched on Ronin one day. But anyways, yeah, I'm super excited about the Web3 elements, and I think I also think that right now that the game actually has live players and is getting the stream of feedback, I think that'll also allow the devs to figure out what to prioritize in terms of enhancing the gameplay.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the Web3, of course, the Web3 elements are huge, and I'm incredibly bullish on all aspects in which they could bring them into this game. Skins is the most obvious, most easy to go for, in my opinion, cosmetics and things like that. And it's just going to be interesting to see how creative, game devs can be with this new skill that they've unlocked by harnessing Web3 technology. We got a Sweet Feet and Ryan Axie faction here as well. I know I've played with both of these guys on the Machines Arena. I'll give both of you, a little limelight to drop maybe some thoughts, last minute things on the Machines Arena.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm a little bit late to the space, so I apologize if I'm kind of beating a dead horse or somebody already mentioned it. But
bro,
I just wanted to I just wanted to kind of shout out to everybody involved with just making it happen. Obviously, the Ronin announcement and everything like that. But I think from an onboarding perspective, this I think is going to be a huge success for it's already been a success for me. It's been out for less than a week, and I've pulled in I think 5 friends now at this point who have sat and watched me play Axie for the past year, and
that's the combo I want to talk about. Thank you for bringing that up. Actually, it's probably the easiest thing to onboard people yet in this whole space.
I literally the fact that I gave them a code. There's so many layers to it. The fact that we had our own codes to give out to our friends, they see what that means, as far as community goes, and then I tell them to go to the Epic launcher, which we all already have. If you play Fortnite or whatever. The fact that we're pulling this from the Epic launcher and stuff like that is so huge. And I think that it's something that needs to be kind of spotlighted and commended and praised or whatever, because like this is massive. Like I think I said it in the Ronin Discord earlier. Just like I think getting people's guards down when it comes to onboarding, like they're not going to be sold in one fell swoop. It's not going to be like, even if compare it to things like Dead Drop, what Doctor Disrespect's game, or Axie, or whatever's been in the ecosystem, like bringing the guards down slowly but surely and onboarding through trusted things like the Epic launcher and things like that. I think like this is the way moving forward, kind of. And I just wanted to like highlight that and give that some love, because like it's dope to like play with my Web 2 friends. They've been playing the game even without me. I think they already have like it's hilarious. Like they message me and they're like, yo, I don't know who this Chuck Fresco guy is, but I'm coming at his throat the next time I see him. Like, little stuff like that. Like they've already got rivalries built up in the game with people like from our community.
Yeah, we need the trash talk, man. Come on, this is the esports environment. We gotta start building the hype. Obviously, all in respect, and I believe this community a respectable environment. So, but it's fun to have that element now, and it'd be a bit more passionate,
Like one of the things that I'm starting to see, like, and so in the early days of Axie, we used to like talk debate, like, are we building a game? Are we building a community? Are we building a social network? And like, I would always just be like, yes, right? It's like, it's all those fucking things. And we're starting to see, right, like how, because this is a community, it's just a group of people who are interested in new technology and are interested in playing games together. And it's like this community can be very fluid in terms of the types of experiences that we're promoting, that we're talking about, that we're experiencing together. And that was always just a hypothesis, to be honest, right? But now we're starting to actually really see it come into fruition.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's amazing to see. Ryan, I'm gonna not leave you hanging, bro. We do have other topics to talk about, but I know you've been loving the Machines Arena, so I do want to give you that time to talk.
For sure, man. I have been absolutely obsessed with the game. Now, I just wanted to touch on something real quick that Cairo mentioned about watching those old videos from the original beta test back in 2021. And what that says to me is that the team at Directive Game Studios, the devs behind Machines Arena, they really care about their product, because if you look, they had a playable version almost 2 years ago, and they could have shipped it out just as was and updated it along the way, as we see a lot of other game studios, just very not to mention any names, but there's one in the public consciousness right now that people are very hyped about. This is a Web 2 game. You might have heard of it, Last of Us. There's a big trend in the scene of releasing things early and then fixing it later. But the fact that Directive Game Studios have had this game ready to go for a little while and have been just taking their time to perfect it and that really make sure that it's ready for the community and on the right platform too, just it shows to me that they really care. And so yeah, big shout out to Directive Game Studios.
Cool. Yeah. No, I didn't even know that. The fact that they hang on to the release in the game, and they've really refined it, and just like a little alpha on it. If you do end up in the Machines Discord, you can see there's a huge long track record of them testing the game out themselves. So I'm very confident that they're very much gamers themselves, and they care as much about the game as anyone would be if they were a true fan or an avid fan of the game itself. But yeah, man, it's all cool to see. Honestly, it's been some of my favorite moments in the space as of recent, and it's just been one hell of a weekend playing with some friends and getting the feel for it. So, like I said, I implore you to try the Machines Arena out if you haven't yet already, and if you have, then well done. Well, let's move on to the next topic. So we this is something that came up, and we do a lot of talks, and one of the things that I try and do in the time that I have is like immerse myself within this community, because there is just so much potential and so much capability in this community, and talking with people I honestly think is a massive bonus in this space. If you do have communication, you might find out more, you might progress further, there's things you can learn, you can help other people learn, and that's something that I do in my spare time. And we were talking this week in Coffee with Quest. Shout out to Quest. And we were talking about the builders programs. Now, and Jihoz, I don't know how you might have a spin on this as well, because you might have seen it too. But maybe some of the builders programs feeling, a bit pushed to the side, and I really don't want that feeling to spread throughout and discourage people to become builders and get involved with the builders program. But I do want to as well shed a light on that. The gaming, like game development, is naturally a competitive environment. Like developing a game, you're automatically, the moment you say I'm making a game, you are automatically going into competition with every game that has ever existed. We're in a time where competing for attention is literally part of everyday life, right? So game developers do have to understand this, but there is still some incredibly interesting things happening over in our builders program. So I do want to shed some light on it, but just maybe some thoughts on that, if that's the first time you're hearing it, or maybe you have been, at least registering it.
No, I have definitely thought about this, and we've thought about this, and I've definitely seen some of the murmurings. I think like the best framing and the best way to think about it is like, we're serious when we're saying infinite experiences, right? So obviously that means that there's going to be a lot of different freaking games, and, some of them are going to overlap, right? Like if we're going to tiptoe and only onboard, right, like one type of each genre of game at a time to our ecosystem, then it's just that's not I think that's not the viable path forward.
Yeah, it's not realistic, man.
Yeah, so like there are definitely, and there are certain types of games that are very popular, right? It's kind of like the meta of game design, right? It's like everyone is building this type of a game now, right? Like everyone is building Escape from Tarkov type games right now, right? People seeing Brawl Stars, right? So people are building those types of kind of mini MOBAs and stuff like that. So there will definitely be competitive with each other, but I think like I think that's natural. I think that's fine, and I think that's right. It's like it's impossible to have infinite experiences without some overlap.
Facts, yeah, 100%. We're talking about the builders program. Some of the most recent ones I'm trying to tag to the space itself right now, so you guys can check it out. But some that come to mind in terms of that are in the midst of updating, or maybe we might be near a launch or accessibility. We've seen Lunacia Cup dropping some leaks out here, some screen grabs. I'm actually personally excited to play it. I know it might be not, we're not going to see some, real engine, Unreal Engine type graphics or anything like that. I don't think we were expecting that. But the element of a racing game and a more community participating game as well is something that I'm excited for, to see what it's like. Another one across Lunacia land, which we've known about for quite some time. And yes, huge shout out to Arctic. I know he's been working on that for a while, and was lucky enough to actually converse with him in London in the Axie London meetup a while ago in October, I think it was. But just a really great human being, and so I know everything that is dedicated towards this project hopefully shines through. So some interesting stuff that is coming this way. Is anyone in on the stage or even in the space right now excited for anything else that we haven't mentioned? Maybe has experienced and played a lot of Mech Infinity, a game that I haven't touched, and maybe want to give some thoughts and feedback on the Builders program as a whole right now.
I do want to touch on Mech Infinity, and you're right. It does seem like they're kind of getting left behind a little bit in all the hype around the Machines Arena. Yeah. But, I don't think that it has to be one or the other. The Conwiro team, who's working really hard on Mech Infinity, they've been pushing. They've been doing their absolute best to ship a product, and it is a lot of fun. And I know you mentioned earlier that we were missing that sort of community-based gaming experience. I had already found that in Mech Infinity before TMA even came out.
Yeah.
And I've been taking a little bit of a break. Of course, TMA has been a lot of fun, but I don't plan on leaving Mech Infinity behind. I plan on hosting more tournaments as time goes on, as more updates come out, and there's gonna be players that are hyped for both.
For sure. And that, like you said, us as gamers, and I realize this more and more, especially being involved in this ecosystem. But you know, there are all types of gamers. There are literally infinite gamers, so there needs to be infinite games, and it's just going to be one of those things where eventually, you know, there will just be that many selections, and it does come down to preference and who really can, you know, put on a game or put on a show with their game that grabs the audience. So I think every gaming studio should keep that in mind when they are building and you know, aim to be able to do that and make themselves unique. But we have a platform to do that, and also a platform full of players who are, you know, willing and eager to get involved and really get attached to a game itself, and the development team behind it as well, and really stand and support them. So it is a really cool environment nonetheless. The next topic though, and I appreciate you guys for you know, sticking around, chilling in here. Give us some emojis. Let us know how we're doing. If I'm doing garbage right now, like, you can be. Is there a sick face? No, there isn't. Okay, I'm looking at emojis. You can put the thumbs down if we're doing garbage. So I know, like, some of you guys might meme and throw it down, but some of these emojis, they generally do help with the feedback and know we're on a good topic with stuff. So don't, you know, be trigger happy. I'm all for the trigger happy participants. Go crazy with it. But yeah, nah, amazing. Jihoz, you got any favorite games at the moment that you're playing? I know you can't leak any that you might know that you're playing that we don't know. Is there anything going on there? You got any leaks for us?
Busy. I was busy, right? Like, I was busy.
Yeah.
I didn't even really get to play Diablo 4 when, you know, during the weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play a TMA with you all, like, probably this week. Start getting my feet dirty a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stream it.
I'm super
Stream
excited.
it.
I think, like, you know, I think I'll just say maybe like a couple of things about each game, right? Like, I think with Axie Champions, right, the match 3, people were like, yo, this is something that my you know, someone in my life would love this game, right? Like, my wife, she loves match 3 games. Like, it doesn't it doesn't make sense to me, but my wife loves match 3. My mom like, she used to play Gem Drop, like, on the computer, like, and that's what I would just, like, wait watching her play Gem Drop so that I could get on the computer to play Diablo.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, you know, I just and those are games that I think, right, like match 3, it opens up an entirely different audience. Plus, it's like, boom, that thing is like scheduled. I think they said that they're gonna have something to show this summer. Why? Well, match 3 games, like, it's not like building a freaking MMO, right? It's like, obviously, Web3 infused MMO would be amazing. There are actually some that are, you know, they got started building them in 2018, and they're still not here, right? MMOs take like 5 to 7 years. So yeah, I'm excited about the, you know, what Bali Games is building with the match 3. We got Solas in here from Tribe Studio, right? So I think, like, people are really excited about the IP there. The art looks really promising. The team seems very community centric, right? So it's like, one of the things with Tribes and Tribesters is that it's like, oh, this is a game, like, this is a team thinking about, like, community in a similar way to us, and, you know, we think that right, like, focus on community is always like a leading indicator of success. And then we have Bold, right? Bold, dude, as I said this, like, this week, like, I have no idea about anything related to cricket, but cricket is, you know, cricket is played and watched by billions of people on this planet. I think it's like pretty much the most popular sport in the world, right? So that's definitely right. Like, Bold has this ability to tap into as well, like, a different audience, right? Indians.
For sure. Yeah.
There are 1.6 billion Indian people. 500 million of them are gamers.
Yeah.
So this is a country that's really ripe for crypto adoption as well. So that's definitely like a wallet onboarding play, right? And then we got, Battle Bears, right? And that was like, dude, people have been reaching out to me saying, yo, I'm super excited about Battle Bears. I freaking played that when I was a kid, when I was a child. There was someone who bought Ron this week because he was like, yeah, like, what the hell? Like, you guys are onboarding Battle Bears? Like, that's something that I played on Steam when I was a normie, like, when I was a freaking child. And also, I also saw, like, Arctic, you know, had played it as well. So that's a team. I met them in real life, like, and when I had like a really special vibe when I met the founder, Ben, right? He was like, "Yo, Gio, like I've been waiting for this moment to meet you," and he like immediately showed me the game that they were building. They already had like freaking axes integrated into it, right? So it's not like, yeah, I see them as super genuine.
Yeah. That's
and
dope. I didn't know it was a Web2 game beforehand as well. I thought this was like it was trying to make a charge as a Web3 game. This is the first time coming forwards.
That crossover with Kataro was awesome. It looked so sick. It made me super hopeful for the future of like integrating axes into other games and like seeing their 3D models, because like there really hasn't been many games where we've seen like an actual 3D axie like get put into the game, and that was really cool to see, I thought.
Honestly, I think like, bro, you're just a W, bro. Thank you for bringing it up. That is a component that I don't know how powerful just as yet, but I think if Axie, digital collectibles are able to be put into different games, and the IP is like remnant across the whole Ronin ecosystem at some point, like I would absolutely love to be able to see my Axies in a different world. That for me, I'd be hugely bullish on that kind of concept. Hopefully we do get that. I don't know if that is, we might touch on too much, but let's move on to something else where the eyes emoji is ever so prevalent. I think, Jihoz, you're probably the best person to talk on this one, but we saw a post from Psych Out the other day. I think it was a few days ago on Twitter. I'll add it here as well so you guys can see it. But he was in a studio with a familiar blue looking hedgehog. what do we know what's going on there?
Well, we know that Alex is in Japan.
I'm sorry,
right?
Like,
we know that Alex is in Japan right now because we just saw, right, like that awesome meetup with the Japanese community. So it seems like he's having meetings, right, with these traditional gaming studios in Japan. I'm 100% sure that the willingness to talk to us and explore opportunities, right, is definitely expanded, right, as we've like onboarded companies like Google onto our validator set, right? Yeah. And now that we're making these announcements and showing that we're ushering in this new era, I think there's a new kind of wave of inbound interest. So yeah, I think that's all really I know, right? Is like, yeah, all I know is that it's confirmed, I guess, that Alex had that meeting with Sega, which I think is good, and that they would probably just even talk to us. I feel like a year ago they wouldn't have even been interested. So I think
bullish on the fact that they're down to have a convo. I'm bullish on that. But we won't probe too much. I thought it was to be honest, like you can accept it. It was low hanging fruit. I had to go for it. So but we'll transition onto the next topic. This is where you guys can mostly get involved. Now, I would appreciate somebody that I do not know that is in this community that is messing with Ronin, loves to play the games, or maybe has not yet played the games. The next topic is going to be the wish list and future ideas for the Ronin network. Now, this topic, it can encompass some other things. If you have questions and it's not maybe an idea or something, that you want to put forward on a wish list, then by all means, you're still open to answer that. But I'll start with guys that are on the stage. Cairo, you can go for. To be honest, I already know what it's gonna be. But you lot know what it's gonna be, right? When we go to Cairo, you already know this. But Cairo, what would you bring on your wish list?
I want a .ron address. I want Cairo.ron.
Or would it be Cairo.ron or Ronin?
I say Ron. Everybody says Ron. I don't know what the correct one is. When you say Ronin, I don't know. Gio, tell us.
It's Ron, bro.
.ron, bro. Because we call it
Ron.
Yeah, I mean Ron. I don't know. It sounds because it could be good. Sounds like Ron. But yeah, I call it .ron for sure.
Yo, Garo, I am gonna get you after this one for .ron, bro. Anyway, Edu, Ryan, Sweet, you guys got any things on the wish list for the future?
Well, honestly, I was gonna say something like what Cairo said, and when he said it, I was like, okay, what's my point here? But I mean, I would. I don't know. What I want for Ronin is what it's already doing. It's incorporating new games and big names. I mean, I love the fact that everyone had such a great moment with TMA when it was announced, and everyone's watching the gameplays, the videos, and everything. Like, it's doing a lot for the community. It's doing a lot for content creation itself. Because like I think you said it, like in YouTube, like there's not really much content on it. So
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I meant to let somebody up here and I muted everybody. I'm
so,
sorry.
so basically, like you guys have the prime moment to make content on this and be known as the, I don't know, the OGs in that game as well. So and not only that with that, but I mean we've got an MMO coming up. We got Tribesters as well. I mean, a lot of people. I asked this question on Twitter. What if you had to play just one type of genre of game for the rest of your life? What would it be? And a lot of people answered MMOs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing about MMOs is they literally have some of the most passionate fans ever. So it will be cool. But you said something extremely important, and I'm probably going to tweet this out. But this is probably the most opportunistic time as a creator or as an absolute. You're not even a creator. Maybe you just made one video. Like, this is the time of opportunity for you to get involved, start making content, have some experience, have people support you, learn from others, connect with other creators and learn from them. Like, this really is that moment. And at large, we really are building towards forms of creator economies. So don't think for a second that, like, because you haven't made content, you're not a content creator, and like nothing should limit you here. And that's something that I've and two people on this stage right here actually have helped me tremendously this week, creating content. And without their input and their help, literally the video that you see on YouTube on the Machines Arena, it wouldn't even exist. So we have that ecosystem here. So if you are on the fence about making that leap of faith, I'd suggest, like, fight the fears, man, because these are going to be some of the most opportunistic periods of time. And when you're getting new games, Edu, like you were saying, you could be the staple content creator of that game just because you were here first and you did it really well. So yeah, beautiful suggestions.
Absolutely true, Gila. If anyone is thinking about making content, do like Shia LaBeouf and just do it, because that's literally all it takes. And the more you do it, the more you'll learn, the more you'll grow an audience. And I'm telling you, as a content creator right now, I could not be happier. I mean, the Axie is always there for me to make content on. Now I've got Machines Arena. I've already got like 2 or 3 different video ideas that I'm working on at the moment. And and then the second something else comes out, I mean, we got Tribesters, we've got Battle Bears, we've got all these other aspects of the ecosystem to touch on that a lot of them are just completely dry right now in terms of content. There's really a ton of opportunity out there right now. I could not be more hype.
For sure. Yo, I'm gonna throw it out there. This is the roundup for you guys that are in the audience. If you do want to step up, request to be a speaker now. Otherwise, we're going to start closing towards. I do want to say, though, before that, again, big thank you to everybody that came onto the stage and as a speaker today. Shout out to Cairo for being here with me, always my brother. Shout out to you. And Jihoz, again, huge thank you for coming through and spending the time to talk with us today, man.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here. Yo, congrats to Chuck, by the way, on the picking up that bird. I think we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but yeah, I was actually watching those. I set some notifications, but yeah, always try to like let the community get in for some of these crazy deals. So definitely the bug and the bird that sold today. Those are insane. But yeah, it's also like a sign that Mystic Axes are delivering on some utility for them and some and part upgrades. Axie Core, I think that's also really important because those are also really low prices. Which is as someone who holds like a bunch of reptile rare class mystics.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Like we need to fucking step it up.
Yeah, Jihoz, I'm very jealous, but it's.
I actually got the bug, Jiho. I got the bug. So
what the hell? Holy shit, dude! Congrats.
I was able to trade my Mystic for that one. I got a really good offer, but yeah, crazy.
That was a good move. That was a good move.
Bro, Kyra, you think he's gone? He's playing Dead Drop and his 360 no scoping someone and then going to the marketplace and buying Mystics.
Dude, it's interesting, right? It's like, oh, these other games, if they're legit and they're providing like opportunities for our community, like, to be honest, that's nice. It's like good. Like, the more of these games that are working and have nice opportunities for our community, it's right. It's like the more sustainable it is, the more people can justify spending and dedicating their life to Web3 gaming, right? So I'm for the first time, for the first, and people are sometimes critical of me. They're like, Jiho doesn't like to collaborate with other projects. Jiho thinks that all other projects suck and are shitty. That's only true of 2018 to 2022 Jiho. I'm now entering a new era where it's like, oh, these other projects are starting to upgrade their game a little bit, and like, I respect, right? Like, and I'm seeing them actually start to help our community rather than just trying to scam our community members.
Yeah, for real. I think one way that I try to look at things like macro, it just doesn't make sense fighting, in what would be considered the minority percentage for us in adoption. Like, if you look at every gamer on this planet and then the percentage of those gamers who are Web3 gamers at the moment, there's no gain from us fighting within that small percentage when the macro, the end goal is really to help the rest of the industry kind of see the benefits here. So I've always tried to take that standpoint and approach when seeing other projects and other games as well. But you know where the loyalty lies. So we do have Brief requested to be a speaker. Welcome to the space, bro. If you have any questions or you have any thoughts to give, go ahead, my brother.
Great. Thank you for having me. Just wanted to say the game is awesome. The ability to hatch eggs has always been a huge caveat for many gamers, and people do complain about price or whatnot, but long term, looking at the game, it's just awesome. And I just wanted to say that. Thank you for having me. Have a good one.
Oh, love that, Brief. See, Brief had a pair of fucking balls and came up here and said his piece, man. Be more like Brief. And with that, family, listen, I love you lot, bro, and what's happening right now in this community, I just think it's totally awesome. So, like, let's keep pushing, let's keep creating, and let's keep supporting each other, man, because it really is important. Even something like this wouldn't come together if I didn't, if I wasn't lucky enough to be supported by some of the guys that are here in this space. So, you know what it is. One love goes out to all of you guys. Again, thank you to all of our speakers tonight. Big, huge thanks to Jihoz as well for coming through and blessing us. But you know what it is. We're back next week, Ronin Radio. I want to give a huge shout out to the Ronin social network as well. If you are playing TMA and you're a first-time player, have nobody to play with, make sure you check them out. You can find them on Twitter. Actually, I'll at them in the space here as well, so you can find them afterwards. But yeah, man, go and have a fucking amazing week this next week. It is Monday tomorrow. Just go out there and kill it, man. And thank you guys for spending your time this evening with us here at Ronin Radio, man. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Yep. Later, everyone. Thank you guys for coming out.
Peace, guys. Much love.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Play the tune. Play the tune. I said, play the tune. What's good, fam? What's good? What's good? If you were here in the Twitch chat the whole time, you're a fucking G. You're a fucking G. But what a space. Best one yet. I feel pumped. I appreciate you lot. And bro, this is what we got to do, man.
We got squad the fuck up, but the whole of Ronin, bro, we got just squad up. It's simple. It's really not that complicated. But yo, the Machines Arena really doing shit right now. Really be changing the game out here. How bullish can a bull be? I don't know, but I might grow horns. Wait. Shout out to the Ronin social network, my brothers. Doing big things out here, man. But let's play some TMA. Too much information. That's TMI. All right, cool. Bull emote, yeah, I know. I need emotes. I need emotes. The stream needs emotes. The stream needs shit to do. I gotta jump.